Today I'm going to do something slightly different. As well as making my regular weekly English lessons, I also want to start creating a mid-weekly vlog where I talk about more personal things and things that I'm interested in, giving you the opportunity to listen to spoken English and also hopefully to pick up some everyday but also new vocabulary and expressions. In these vlogs, I'd like to talk about some of the same kind of things that I end up talking about with students in conversation classes. Things like mental health and well-being, midlife, parenting, relationships, music, technology, all sorts of things. For today, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction and tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 52 and I live just outside London with my two teenage kids, my dog Milo, who you might have seen in videos and on Instagram, and my cat Gizmo. I've been divorced for about 10 years now, but I still get on well with my ex-husband and we co-parent our kids. I've been working as a community tutor on Italki since 2021. 2021 was a big year for me. It was the year that I turned 50. And at the time, I was thinking a lot about what I wanted to do with my life. I've always suffered with depression, and that year I found a really good therapist to work with who helped me during this sort of period of transition. And also I enrolled on a course through Mind, which is a mental health charity in the UK, a fantastic charity. And this course was aimed at encouraging people to look at their skills and realise how they could use the skills that they'd acquired over their life. It was really quite a transformative time for me, and it allowed me to look at my life with fresh eyes, and more specifically to look at my life skills. I've previously worked in mental health and I was considering training to become a therapist myself, but something was holding me back. I was hesitant. Then I came across a website called Italki. Italki matches English teachers and teachers of all sorts of languages, every possible language you can imagine, with students who want to practice their conversation in that language. I looked into the application procedure and I thought, why not give it a go? I did modern languages years ago back at university, and I'd previously done some English language teaching then. But that was before the days of the internet and all this kind of amazing technology that we have now. I loved the concept of Italki, and I loved also the idea of developing your language skills through conversation. I think conversation teaches you things that you can't learn from textbooks, and it's vital when you're developing your language skills. I started doing some more teacher training and I got accepted by Italki as a community tutor. Alongside this, I decided to also develop the social media side of my business. I've done content creation before for other businesses, and I thought it'd be a good way to put my own skills into use for myself this time. So I set up an Instagram account, and what else did I set up? I didn't set up YouTube originally. That has come a lot more recently. But the combination of working with students on Italki and doing content creation has been a perfect mix for me. I've got a kind of creative streak, and content creation allows me to play with that, while the conversation classes with students is an incredible opportunity to connect with amazing people all over the world and try and support them in their language learning. I haven't even mentioned this to all of my students, so not everybody knows this, but I have two chronic health conditions. When I was 11, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease which affects my joints. And then in my 20s, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which is a mental illness. My 20s were full of real highs and then real lows. In my 30s, I managed to stabilise quite a lot through self-management of my illnesses, but also through finding the right medication. And I was able to get married and to have my kids and to create some stability in my life. Fast forward to now, and my son is now 18 and my daughter is 16, and I find myself at a point in my life where I feel like I've refound my spark and my drive and my ambition. I'm doing something I'm really passionate about, and I think most of all, I feel like I'm continuing my journey as a lifelong learner. Working with students from all over the world is a real privilege because it gives me insight into other people's lives, other people's perspectives, and I think you can learn such valuable lessons from that. I'm also learning more about teaching, and I want to continue developing my teaching career. And also learning more about technology. YouTube is part of that process. I've always been quite scared of YouTube and video editing in particular, but I thought, give it a go. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. If you got this far, thank you so much for watching. I'd really like to make this a regular thing, and rather than talking about myself, I'd like to talk about different subjects every week. You probably get a sense of who I am and what kind of thing I'm into. So if I sound like I might be your cup of tea, make sure you hit that subscribe button and look out for next week's vlog. And any questions, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. By the way, it's kind of terrifying being so candid on video, but I'm hoping that if I persist in this, it will gradually become less nerve-wracking. Stepping out of your comfort zone is really important, right?